See if anybody comes in here. Now we're getting some people in here. Grow a little truck, the Hool, Scott, Jonathan Wheeler, Red Pepper, what's up? Red Pepper, I hope all is well with you. Figure I'd do this 100th. What's 100th, Jeff? Good morning from wet Kansas. Jamie B, what's up? That's good. That's good. Morning coffee. Yep. Got my Peterbilt cup. Peterbilt. Where's my cigar? No, that's not my jam, Jeff. That's not my jam. I'm under a low, but I'm at home. That's the best way to do it. I was gonna work a long weekend, but you know, all the stuff going the points far away just wasn't paying. Must taste like crap in that cup. You know, a lot of times I enjoy James Best's Saturday Morning Live feeds, but he hasn't done one in a while, and he's working this weekend. So I figured I'd do mine. Yeah. You look tired? I just woke up about an hour ago. But need a baller green tea 680 cup. Yeah, but then the minute I do that, I might switch trucks. You never know. Ratman, what's up? Excuse me. I watched Ratman's video this morning. Pretty good video. I gotta be careful with this. I remembered my tripod, but very unstable here. Birds chirping, yep. Truck for Life, what's up? BLR, good morning. Mike Miller. Southbound Jay, what's up? Les. Jason Perry. And I'm prepared, so I wouldn't have to leave you guys when the cup gets empty. I got more right here. So, anyways, let's talk about perception. Lately, I've been thinking about the future of trucking, you know, and the business opportunities and the potential earning possibilities that one can make in this trucking universe, right? I've been feeling positive about things, right? Believe it or not. And then I got on Facebook this morning, right? Now, mind you, I've really reduced my news feed quite a bit. There's hardly anything political. I mean, hardly anything at all. If you go on Twitter, you know, there's a lot of like political BS that's really, really bad on Twitter. Most of the time when I tweet, I'm not even looking at the rest of the Twitter universe, right? And it's a shame because a lot of the people I follow, famous people I follow, you know, you like their art, you like certain actors, you like certain musicians, but then they put their political beliefs up there and it just kind of makes you go, you know? And I got on Facebook and suddenly you don't feel so positive about the trucking universe, you know, about the business side of things. And you know, the future of parking, the future of this, the future of that, and it's all doom and gloom, and you know, or automated trucks and automated apps and electric trucks and all this stuff, right? And suddenly, I'm not feeling so positive anymore about, you know, what am I going to do for the next 5 years in the truck, right? And it is a beautiful, beautiful, chilly autumn morning here in Missouri. And it's kind of crazy how social media can change your perception, both for the positive and the negative. And I think that's what we try to do, like in the political world. You know, people think that you're going to switch sides from liberal to conservative or vice versa by a simple meme or an article about the president or an article about the presidential candidates, and like suddenly you're going to have this epiphany by one meme or one article. And you think that's kind of ludicrous, but then at the same time, it was only a couple articles that of some of the stuff. You watch a show like Live PD, and you have this perception that everybody's a drug addict, everybody's an alcoholic, everybody's getting pulled over, and they're finding drugs and all these people, right? And I'll get to the comments here. I'm not going to be one of those YouTubers that ignores comments. And you know, it's just, you get this perception that the government's doing this and the public's doing that, and you got all these things, and what happens is the social media focuses on one little aspect. And if you follow me on Facebook, there's an article I posted that had Marilyn Manson. He's a heavy metal guy, you know, if you don't know. And he talked about how, and they sell with fear. You know, every time there's a huge talk about them taking guns away, what happens? Gun sales go up, right? And you know, you fear this, we're going to sell this to you. Like, you know, identity theft. You know, you fear identity theft, we're going to sell you a service that really doesn't help, you know. And what do you got to do with these identity theft places? You got to give a stranger your social security number. You got to give them all that information, right? So how is that any better, right? We use the fear of cancer to get people to donate to cancer things that we're really not trying to find a cure. You know, you use the fear of everything to sell everything, right? And is that really what's going on, or is that your perception of what's going on? So, all right. Okay. Trucker Seals, what's up? Now when you're skinny, you could be a metal model. John Cater. Last while, negative videos coming out from me about the Volvo dealer. Oh, wow. That sucks. Last straw, negative videos coming out from me about the Volvo dealer. Wow. That's a shame, because you invest 160, $180,000 into a truck, and for a single owner operator like myself, if I was to go out and buy a truck, your whole livelihood relies on that truck, your business health, your home, everything. And I've got another friend going through a lot of truck issues. And for the mega fleets, I mean, you go by the Werner yard there in Springfield, Ohio, and just brand new truck after truck after truck just sitting out there, just something that can support so much. It's just sitting out there rotting in a field because they got no driver for it. Yet, it's like they're just throwaway trucks to make a fleet, right? And and I got another friend that's going through the process of buying a truck, and I told him, I said, buying a truck is one of the hardest things you'll ever have to do. It's the biggest pain in the butt. And I think that these dealerships would bend over backwards for you. You would think that these trucks would work. We got all this technology and all these advancements, and these trucks are just awesome pieces of machinery, right? No. I did a video a long time ago about the disposability of trucks. And Freightliner just laid off 900 people, right? And I don't think part of it's the market, but think about stuff like lawnmowers. It's just easier to replace, cheaper to replace, right? The problem is the disposable society, from appliances to lawnmowers to equipment, is now reaching $180,000 truck. And while instead of just fixing things, it's just easier to put a warranty on it, right? Well, warranty doesn't pay your bills. Warranty doesn't pay for the tow. Warranty doesn't pay for the downtime. Warranty's not going to make that payments in the bank. So in essence, it becomes harder and harder for a single owner operator like myself. And and then you got these mega carriers like Schneider and Prime and everything that push these lease trucks, and it gives them more fuel for that because it's a lot easier. Like if you're an SFI guy, they'll help with your payments. And if your truck is absolutely limited, they'll just give you the option for another truck. The full maintenance lease that Jeff had in his Volvo is actually a pretty good deal, but the dealership realized it, and they don't offer anything like that anymore. And while there are full maintenance leases out there, you're going to pay a lot of money. So you either pay on one end or you pay on the other. And that, I don't know, it's sad, really. Makes one of the hardest aspects of being an owner operator. Yeah, Ryan Clark, I've had to lock from so many bands that I dug because of politics. That's the thing, though, is you have to separate the art from the artist. You really do. Big Tail, what's up? Pale Rider? I don't let other people's beliefs or rants get in the way of my beliefs in personal and business future plans. That's a good point, Jeff. And I try not to, I really don't. Because if I did, I wouldn't be here. In other words, like when I first decided I was going to be an owner operator, I had so many friends that I live in the area of crime, so there's a lot of failed crime, leasers here, right? And they just told me I was making a mistake and that, all this horrible things were going to happen. Now, has it been a bed of roses? No, but their perception of being an owner op or a lease op is different because of the things that happened to them. Well, the things that happened to them, was it beyond their control, or was it because of things that they could control? And that's what you have to differentiate. So you have to have a strong mindset because you have to ignore the naysayers. Now you want to take advice. You want people to give you good advice, but you want advice from the people that are succeeding. Like if I ever wanted to start my own fleet, Jeff's a great person to talk about. Why? Because he's doing that right now. You know, if I ever wanted to get my own authority, talking to people like Christian Trucker would be the kind of people you want to talk to, not the guy that tried it 3 years ago and failed miserably, you know. Society X TV, what's up? Fear of Roscoe to sell more Popeyes. Look at James Heffitt. I learned is in rehab for alcoholics. Right. Cubby. Heffield been clean for years, but once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. Alcoholic, can't dabble. It's hard to get off the hooch when you're in a band with Chris Ulrich. It's funny, right? But you know, so I think that in order to succeed in life, you got to be focused, right? You almost have to have tunnel vision. But here's the catch. Here's the catch-22, rock in a hard place. You have to be focused, tunnel vision, but you have to be open to ideas. You have to be open to the positive reinforcement from others. I get a lot of positive reinforcement from all my friends, and I love that. And I appreciate that. I'm grateful for that every single day. Because you need that to counteract the negative stuff you see online or on YouTube or on Facebook, you know, Twitter, you know. And it used to be when I got depressed, the trick was to find a satellite radio channel, comedy channel, and listen to that, you know. And that would help. Now, to help me with depression, I'm on the cell phone constantly. If I'm talking to somebody, I don't know. It's definitely a distraction. You know, the other day I was on the phone with Roscoe, and I went from basically Choctaw Casino all the way up 69, all the way to past Big Gap. Didn't even realize it. Now, you had all those small towns, all those speed traps. You know, it helps that I've done that road so many times that I can do that. You know, I've done it a million times. That's where I cut my teeth a lot. But it was such an engaging conversation that we just did 250 miles and didn't even realize it. You know, because it's about from McKinney to about I-44, you're looking at about 250, 260 miles. I'm so tired of getting effed by other people's lack of work ethics and chalking it to that's trucking. Provost, I hear you. I hear you. Focus nor lattice. And I think that's one of the frustrating aspects. You know, I've tried to go outside of my normal brokers and start making phone calls. My most frustrating aspect of making the phone calls, I know how to negotiate. I'm a decent negotiator. But when you call a broker or a sub-broker that literally doesn't have the information, you can tell it's a third party, you know, 3PL kind of thing going on, and they don't have all the information. Or they don't have the appointment time set. You tell them set it between 8 and 10, and they set it for 3, screwing up the whole week, you know, that kind of thing. Or you go to You know, that was, or they don't answer, they put you on hold for 10 minutes. You know, it's like, just like trucking on the driver's side has a lot of unprofessionalism on the broker side too. And that can be frustrating because I'm running my business using you. And if you don't have your act together, how am I supposed to have mine? Same thing with the shops. You know, you take your truck to the shop, and you know, there's a dealership here in Springfield that actually changed a major component on a truck because they got the work order wrong. So this guy got a free $3,000 part in labor because he came in for a PM. You know, that's like if you go in for an oil change and shocks and they put a new turbo on or a one box on, right? And people say, well, that's trucking. Well, but that's life. That's a part of it. And as you get further along, you kind of feel like you got your act together, right? And then you got to come across these people that don't, either because of themselves or because of their corporations. I'll give you a perfect example. I was at the Joplin Petro a couple of days ago. Got a shower. The shower room did not have toilet paper. That was one. Took my shower. Went into the iron skillet. I was going to hit the, you know, going to hit the restaurant. Half the tables had a sign on there that said booth is closed. Half. Don't know why. And they were like in various areas. It wasn't like just one section. And then the other half weren't cleaned up. There was nowhere to sit except for the counter, which I didn't want to do that. Well, there's 3 people at the counter, 3 workers, griping about how crappy their jobs are, right? Screw it. So I left, went to Caribou Coffee. The guy's like, what do you want? I said, you know, just regular black coffee. Oh, it'd be a couple of minutes. We got to brew it. Now, I understand you want fresh coffee all the time. I'm like, I was just so, what? Just like the one time I went to Subway and there was, you know, back in my Carbolicious days, there was no bread. They literally had no bread at Subway. Wouldn't that be the most important thing that you do? You know? Even if you got to go to Walmart and buy a bunch of French bread, you know what I mean? And I'm like, and so I say, I guess I can wait a couple of minutes. And then while he starts the brewer, I got my wallet out. And I'm thinking, this person doesn't deserve my money. No, I'm not going to wait for 2 minutes. You're a coffee place. You should have coffee on the ready. And it was a principle of the thing. And then, you know, but I was nice. I was like, nah, I think I changed my mind. He goes, well, you know, before we end this transaction, you know, you have your coffee. He had an attitude with me. You're the one who can't run what you're supposed to be doing, and you're going to have an attitude with me? I'm the consumer. I'm the reason you're here. And I think that people use that term, that's trucking, to kind of make themselves feel better about things. Because we do deal with a lot of ignorant stuff. You know, Dale Ryder was talking about lumpers last night, you know. And it's easy to lose focus because of that. Don't do my way to deal with depression. The lottery and casinos gets my mind off of everything, but it's not good for your financial portfolio, says Ridge Rudder. I hear you. I fight with depression and anxiety every day. Well, Red Pepper, you have a lot of things going on in your life. I blanked out from Gary, Indiana, Lafayette, Indiana. Since Bandit. Let's go to the beach, says Spectre. That's funny. That's good. You just saved $20 on crap food and crappy service. Right. Right, Jeff. You're absolutely right. And that was the positive I took from that. So I was grateful for that. I was grateful for that. That their incompetence. You know what? Stay focused, Steve. You need to save money. Right? Photo, what's up? I'll take my business somewhere else then. You know, but here's the part that bothers me a little bit. I've watched businesses go downhill very fast. Like the Flying J in Springfield. Nice, brand new, excellent service. Within 6 months, it was crap. Within 6 months, the parking lot was trashed. Within 6 months, the staff had been replaced. And I think that's part of the problem with a lot of businesses. Turnover is an issue, guys. Turnover in trucking is why we have the issues we have in trucking. Turnover in the shops is why we have the issues that we have in the shops. No one knows how to be loyal anymore. No one knows how to treat their employees to be loyal. That's the problem. You know, why be loyal to this trucking company if this trucking company is going to offer me more money? And then you go over there and realize the grass isn't greener, and you go back. Meanwhile, you've lost continuity. You know, and good drivers are told, oh, if you're a good driver, you can choose. You can pretty much rule the roost. So some drivers come out here with this ego, like, I make or break this company. No, you don't. But at the same time, you want to treat the good drivers like you do. I think that was always one of the cool things about Transland is they treated me like I mattered. But at the same time, the ego kicks in and goes, you know what? I make or break this company, you know. Then you have issues with your dispatcher for something you can't even control. You need people that love their job. That is absolutely correct. Think positive that $20 could have been $20 super chat, Pale Rider Provost. Yep. For me, oh, it's all part of the circle, though. It's all part of the glowing orb, right? Right, Pigtail? It's all part of, you know, what was that Billy Joel song, We Didn't Start Fire? It's always been burning. That's kind of the case. So in reality, the only thing that you can control at the end of the day is perception. How do you perceive certain things? Like, for example, I talked about my restaurant experience at Iron Skillet. What did Jeff do? He changed that into a positive thing. And that's why Jeff is successful, right? And that's one of the most important lessons I've had to learn that I wish I would have learned 30 years ago. That success comes from your perception. I was talking to a friend of mine, I won't name him unless he wants to put himself out here. And he said that if he was educated on a lot of different things and listened to a lot of social media, he wouldn't be successful right now. He just went in and learned it the hard way. You know, there's a lot of business majors that fail miserably. Yet the guy that knows nothing, starts from the ground up, can succeed. And, you know, why is that? It's perception. You only know what you know, and you learn. I mean, I know that kind of sounds dumb. You only know what you know. Well, that's the stupidest comment I've heard, Steve. No. If, for example, when I became an owner-operator, the only thing I knew was what a couple of Landstar drivers told me, what I picked up from my dad, who wasn't a successful owner-operator. and I learned what not to do. But I remember sitting in the orientation center parking lot at Landstar in Indy there, and I was just like, my head was spinning, because the act of buying a truck and switching carriers at the same time it blew me out. I was in a vegetated state. And looking back, when I bought this truck, like that. When I switched to Schneider, like that. When I switched to electronic, like that. When I bought a trailer, like that. It's like, wow, I got more and more knowledge, right? And if I had to go out and buy a new truck and a new trailer tomorrow, it wouldn't be so hard. I knew what to expect. I renewed my IRP. That used to be a hair-pulling experience. Now it was like click, click, click. There's this form. Here's the miles. Jeff expedited by having the information needed right off the bat, and boom, we were good to go. $1,800 later, we're good for another year, right? 2 years ago, that was the biggest stress in my life, was trying to get my IRP, getting it started, getting my business accounts started, because I didn't come out right the first time. I got lucky. But now, I know what I know. And people come to me advice, which still blows my mind. I was helping Thomas Wilson with some things that he's dealing with his first truck purchase. And I think that that's where my specialty is like, you know, when I was a trainer at Transline, they made me a trainer because I still had the perception of a new guy that came out of CDL school, whereas the other trainers were, these guys have been driving for 20 years, they've never even seen a CDL school, so they don't know what it's like to go through CDL school. And then as a new truck driver and having kids at home, I can give them perceptions on how to deal with family stuff, how to deal with home stuff, and that made me a good trainer. So Translate valued me very much, and they still do, believe it or not. I still run some of their loads for them, for their brokerage. And so when it comes to people that are first coming on as owner operators to Schneider and Landstar or in the spot market, I'm still new at this, so I can tell you what I've learned. I can tell you what I know and what I've learned, but whether it helps or not, I don't know. Because there are people that think that I'm not running a business efficiently, and there are people that think that I'm not doing very well. There are people that think that I'm a horrible business person. So what's the difference? The guy that says, Steve, you're awesome, your advice is good, and then the guy that says, Steve's doing everything wrong. What's the difference there? I'm still the same guy. I'm still doing the same thing. It's perception, right? What is your perception of me? And what is my perception of you? If my perception of you has changed over the years, what does that mean for you? Overtax, everyone wants to start at the top, right? I don't take super chats, I only give them. Oh, look at Big Rig, give me $10 coffee. Thank you, Jeff. I love loyal drivers. It motivates me to work hard as an owner and carrier. Right, Spectre. You've got a good team over there. You really do. You need to know your stuff about what you're doing, too. I'm not watching while driving down I-95, just saying. Steel Horse, what's up? Kevin and Ollie. Now you know how to replace the license plate too. Yeah, Spectre, those of you don't know, because you don't watch my other channels, the collision mitigation system on the Kenworth 680 is a black box, and then it's got a thing underneath it. That's where you mount the license plate. Well, there's only 2 bolts, because there's only, because if it was up on the bumper, you'd have 4 bolts to mount your license plate. And so what you do is you buy those license plate bolts that have the plastic deals, you pop them in and then bolt them in there tight, and you're good to go, right? Well, the problem with that is those holes, the square holes that the plastic things go in, they wear out because that plate is constantly getting a lot of wind, right? Well, I hit something a while back that made the holes even worse, so I tried super gluing it, and that worked for a minute, but it didn't work. So one day I'm doing my post strip, it's gone. My license plate's gone. So Spectre, who I knew has dealt with this because this plate was stolen, and he's in Missouri, I called him up. He told me what to do. The next morning, actually later the same morning, I called MoDOT, had my new registration. I printed it out, put it in the book, called Jeff, told him what was going on, and then actually got a load through the house so I could pick up my new plate that was at home in 3 days. And I appreciate what Spectre did for me there. Yeah. And but we got taken care of, and I did everything in my power to get my plate put on the truck. So now I'm one of those guys with a zip tie to the grill until I can figure out how I want to mount it, because I can't just I got to look at it and see how I want to mount it to where it won't fall off. And I think it might require some drilling. So, lesson learned, super glue does not work for stuff like that. Should use some JB Weld or something. But I think that's one of the most important things is you got to surround yourself with positive people. People that want to help you get to the next level of where you're at in life. And I'm extremely, extremely blessed for that. 4 months from SFI lease completion, a wheel seal turned out into a 7-week breakdown. Took my entire SFI exit plan funding away. If not for you, Jeff, and other fellas' influence, I might have given up. Well, Ryan Clark, I'm glad you soldiered through it. That's what I'm talking about. All it took was the right person to change your perception on what was going on. And if you wake up grateful to be alive, grateful that you have what you have, and be grateful for the lessons that life gives you. I'm grateful that Iron Skillet didn't have their act together because it saved me $20. I'm grateful for the fact that Caribou Coffee, and I just brewed some better coffee in my truck. Which is the original intention of putting a coffee maker in my truck, was to save money, but it was a matter of convenience. But they didn't make it convenient because they failed at what they did, And if you have a breakdown or something, you got to be grateful for that because what if being an owner operator is a roller coaster. It's like, well, my truck broke down, but I didn't have to get a tow. It's going to cost, I'm going to be down for 3 days, but the warranty's going to cover it. It's like, you got this, but this. You got this, but this. Could be better, could be worse, That's what it's like being an owner operator. That's what it's like being a truck driver. Screw being an operator. Just the trucking in general. It could be bad, it could be good. It could always be worse, it can always be better. Self-tapping screws and a plate holder. Use self-tapping screws and Gorilla Glue. The self-tapping screws, I don't know, I have to see how deep it is to go into the bumper, but I might have to just. Spectre was telling me what he did with his, but I don't know if Spectre has the same Bendix collision mitigation system. I got to be careful with that. That's the problem. And I noticed that some people with that collision mitigation system, they bend the plate, so it's a little bit more aerodynamic. Which, you know, you think, well, why would you do that? You know, aerodynamics of the plate's not going to matter. What it does is less wind resistance and less wear and tear on those holes. So. Brian Clark, you have to start another lease next week because of that, but I know I can get through it. It's if you're successful with the first lease, then you shouldn't have any problems with the second lease, right? And if you feel that the lease is your biggest issue, then make moves and make forward progression to get away from that lease. But there's a lot of advantages to that lease, as I mentioned earlier in this video. But there's also, you know, you're going to pay, but because of the umbrella of that lease, you're in another truck. So it goes back to what I was saying before. So you get this umbrella protection with that, and you pay out the ass for that, but you're still in business, right? And you pay for that luxury, because if you had a $3,000 truck note from a bank and you were down for 7 weeks, guess what? That bank's, hey, give us the money or give us the truck, right? Now you're out of business. Unless you have money in reserves. Steelers fan, what's up? There's a lot of options for the screws. I just got to figure it out. But right now, metal zip ties rule. It just looks dumb. But these are the thoughts in my head this morning. And let's see some other comments. Self-trapping screws and Gorilla Glue. Ike Stevens has eyeballs. The Hool calls him a convict. Just weld the plate to the bumper. I wish. Well, I'd have to get a chrome bumper to do that. No. That chrome bumpers cost money. Besides, I don't know if you can get a chrome bumper for a collision mitigation worth anyways. One of my friends at Tranland called me and told me that their new 680s are getting in, has a collision mitigation system. He wasn't too happy about it. I'm like, welcome to my world. Thank you for recommending Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's a great book for anyone to read. Awesome, Steelers fan. More people that could change their perception of of how we treat money, I think the better. Chroming out Roscoe style. Yes, you can. You have one? Oh, wow, okay. I'll have to send me a picture sometime, Spectre. You know what, Spectre? You need to send me a picture of your bumper and your collision mitigation and how you got your license plate screwed in. I know I'm asking a lot. You're probably driving, so don't do it right now. But eventually. Exactly, Steelers fan, right? You wish you'd have that perception 50 years ago. Wish you had that perception. That and Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, those should be required reading in freaking middle school. And then again in high school. I wonder if it's going to rain. Anyways, people ask me if I'm going to do my weekend live. I think you're watching it. I'm at home and so far not swatted yet, so that's good. And who moved my cheese? Kevin, you'll have to elaborate on that. It will. No, that's it. I thought about washing my truck. I drove the job thinking I might head in there. Because I've been running later here lately. And of course, it's getting darker early. But when it's still warm, but it gets darker early, guess what that does? Bugs, right? Bugs love the light. Splat. So, the truck's pretty dirty. Plus, I've had a few dusty rainstorms there in Texas. That didn't help matters. But the truck needs a little bit of TLC. I got to get a PM done. I got to get the quarterly inspection done. A couple of people point out that my tire rack I put on the trailer is backwards. And yeah, so there's that. Didn't realize it until after the holes were drilled and it was on. I told the shop, I said, is this normal? They go, oh, this is how we do all of them. I'm like, okay. Get real pain in the ass to put the spare tire in it. But, that's trucking, right? Normal dirty or Roscoe dirty? Nothing is as dirty as Roscoe. Why some companies make the leap and then others don't? Yeah. Is that a question or a statement, Steel Horse? You guys got any other questions or comments or concerns? If not, we'll end this video. I appreciate you guys watching. I thought about doing a video on how to renew your Missouri IRP, but I guess I could do that right now. Missouri wanted their personal property tax. If you have your equipment under your business account, which you should be doing that, you have to show that receipt. Then you need the miles from, I needed miles from June of last year to July of this year in each state. And Jeff was able to go in the trucking office and print those exact dates out for me. And then there's a form online for renewal. You fill it out on modot.gov under IRP. And you fill in those miles, and then you need a copy of your 2290. And then email all that. You fill out the form online, then you email the other documents, and then you have the option to pay right then and there. You have until December 1st to pay. I decided just to get it done and over with. Kind of like put a Band-Aid off, and I did that Saturday online. Missouri is awesome because you can do a lot of the official stuff online, and it's easy to get a hold of somebody Monday through Friday if you have a question. Whereas some states, I think a friend of mine in Georgia was telling me it was like an hour wait just on the phone just to ask a question, and there's nothing you do online, right? So, anyways, Monday morning. Got the email that they received my documents, and then Tuesday morning they didn't even say it's been approved or anything. They just sent me the new IRP, which I gotta put that in PDF and send that to Jeff. So that's it. It's the book I'm reading. It's in the past comments. Okay. What book is that? Let's see. Reading Good to Great by Jim Collins right now. Okay. It's a book short about change. And here's the thing with books. I downloaded an app called Hoopla. And if you have a library card, it ties into your library. And you could check out ebooks and audiobooks. And so instead of having, I think the way mine's set up, I could check out 20 books a month. I haven't even read 20 books in the last 5 years, so that's plenty for me. Then a lot of people swear by Audible, which YouTube has a lot of audiobook options as well. It's nice to have the temps drop, a lot less bugs, but we know what's coming, right? Well, right now it's perfect 62 degrees. I'm outside enjoying my coffee. Coffee's actually getting cold. I love Pale Rider. It's black. See? There you go. Not even put my heavy whipping cream in it this morning. Library card? I know, Southbound. Yeah, I just sounded ancient when I said that, right? Here's the thing. Here in Springfield, his daughter was about 12 years old. She was dealing with a lot of depression and emotional issues. And she had a lot of social media. And my friend's wife laid down the law, took her laptop, and within a year she was off the depression medication and learned how to occupy her time without the internet, without social media, without that perception, right? And that's something that kids don't have these days. It's something that adults don't have these days. You got people on live PD getting arrested that are looking at their phones in handcuffs, right? It's an addiction. It's a proven addiction. In Korea, in South Korea, they have clinics, rehab centers for kids that are addicted to the internet and phones and social media and all that, right? And my friend said it was the best decision they've ever made. And 2 years later, I think, their daughter has internet access, but issues, and that's how to occupy her time. Why do I bring that up? Because our family here, we've been really good. My wife has been really good about books. We got a ton of books. And when the kids were little, she took them to the library once a week. And we utilize the library all the time. And, well, they do. I don't because of the road. But there's a lot of times there was a few times where I've grabbed audiobooks, put them in the truck. And your library is a great free resource. It really is. And now that you can do it digitally online, that's a game changer in my book, because now a person like me can utilize those, or the services, that's the word I'm looking for, from the local library. So if you have a library card, look up Hoopla, see if your library supports that. I used to have a similar app back when I had a Nook. It also lets you download and keep anything old enough to be public domain. Yep. Coffee's supposed to be black. My coffee's nice and hot. I know what it is. Do you need one for that app? Maybe, I don't know, Southbound J, because that was the first thing that it asked me for, was my library card after it found out where I lived. It's been on the upper 90s in Alabama this week, but it's supposed to cool off sometime this week. Yeah, I'm guilty of it. I stopped at a place the other night and didn't have LTE service. I left. You know, back in my Sprint days, there was certain loads I would do. Knew that where I parked wasn't going to have a signal. Ardmore Dollar General is one of them, right? I'm lucky to get a phone call there, right? And there's a little cafe right next to the distribution center that you can park, and I am off grid. I would call the wife and say, hey, I've got work there tonight, so we won't be having our nightly conversation. And I literally, that's when I busted out the old DVD player, right? I used to keep books and they get ruined. So the ebook thing is a really good option because, you know, now it's downloaded. Right? But if you're addicted to the act of looking at your phone, ebooks are also great. Because what I found is that I think if you're addicted to looking at your phone, if you got no signal, you still pick it up. You play solitaire. You do something with it to occupy your mind, right? And that's where ebooks can really kind of come in and be great. So we're almost at an hour. We're going to cut this off in an hour unless some major breakthrough conversation starter comes through. Going once, going twice. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. And let's see. What the heck is going on out there? I believe that they're gutting out the house over there. There's a big dumpster, and they're just dumping the whole thing. So, how do you like your S10? I have the Galaxy Note 10, and I love it. I've got two of them. I've got the 10 for the business, and I got the 10 Plus for. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. This is the end of the video. So far, we survived. No cops, so that's good. And you know, just keep on keeping on. If something is taking you down or making you down, change your perception, or at least surround yourself with people that will help you change your perception. And you know, there's always a different. You know, the fire's always burning. It's just, you know, sometimes it just shifts, it changes. You know, that's the progression of life, right? C'est la vie. See you.